Pretty rad. Hey guys, 89 Garage here. Hope you already know me though. It's unbelievable how much pollution we've got in the air today. Welcome back to another episode. Coming at you on the way back from the hospital. I'm just going back home. I will be returning to the hospital a little bit later tonight. Unfortunately, I'm up here. I have a family member that's in the hospital. And yeah, that's what's going on over here. Hope everything's going all right with you guys, and I hope you're all having a Merry Christmas holiday, Happy Holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope the best for you and hope better success to all of you in 2023. Let's move on to this video, which I have been working on for several days now. I planned on posting it, today's Monday, I planned on posting it yesterday. I don't know when it's going to happen now. Yesterday meaning Sunday the 18th. Today is Monday the 19th. I'll get it posted as soon as I can. And yeah, just figured I'd lay down a little explanation real quick as to why there was no video last week, this week. I don't know, whatever it is. Today's episode is going to be just, different. I'm actually going to show you a project that's coming up, just kind of what's going on up here. If you remember, I don't know what it's been, 2 months probably ago, that I modified the tire changer that I got from Harbor Freight. Well, I'm going to modify it some more. I briefly mentioned this, I believe, in the video. If I didn't, I'm going to mention it again right here. We're going to come off of this. So basically, I got this out of the scrap bin at work. It is a little bit thinner than I would like. Beggars can't be choosers. So I actually picked up 2 pieces, and I'm going to probably weld the other one, kind of stitch it along the bottom here. And then I was thinking of making a kickstand. Let me kind of show you what I was thinking for that. I was thinking on this, making a kickstand. I still might do that. However, I think rather than do that, I'll make something up here, put a plate there, I don't know, and just kind of make something so I can actually bolt that on. I can use a couple of U-bolts and go around. Maybe that's not going to work out because I don't want it turning. I don't want to mount it in the cement. I originally intended to. Then I got to thinking I'm going to be epoxying this floor at some point. And I really don't want to try and manage the holes all the time, if that makes sense. I'll be able to take this apart, put it in the corner, and it's out of my way. So anyway, that's what's going on in my head right now. If you have any ideas for that, throw them down yonder. And the rest of this video is going to be some stuff that was filmed over a year ago, actually. You'll be able to see that Frankie is all primered in that video. For you that are new to the channel, when you see Frankie here, Frankie doesn't look like that anymore. Frankie, actually, that's what it looks like now. So, when you are viewing the video and you want to see all this, I'll put the playlist up in the corner here for you guys to go look. This video is actually when I put the new trans in Frankie. I never released anything, I just talked about it. And I modified the B&M shifter that was in it a little bit. I have since put a Hurst in it. However, this setup that I am doing in Frankie is in the 8.9, and I did that over 20 years ago. So it's filmed right here what I did, and it actually works very, very well. You can modify your stock shifter like this if you know, if you want to just make it shift better than it does from the factory. Had a lot of stuff going through my head about what I could do to make this work, because I kind of like this setup. I have an untouched factory shift handle right here. If you're not familiar with this setup, those holes right there are extremely large. These are the stock bolts that Ford used. And as you can tell, that'd go right through there if you were to use this. Somewhere around here, probably in a box downstairs, I have the actual factory setup. I'll see if I can insert a picture here. It had a rubber bushing, and then inside of that rubber bushing is another metal bushing, and then it's got a plate that goes around it. It was meant to reduce vibration and noise in the handle. And what happened, you know, from the factory, that didn't feel horrible. Well, I don't know. That's up to you if it felt horrible, but it felt okay, acceptable. Let's call it acceptable. Well, that rubber kind of got soft and wore down, and you know, from shifting, it's moving around, and rubber moving around with metal around it, it gets pierced, it gets chewed up, whatever, and eventually you got a sloppy shifter, and that actually will contribute to jacking up a T5. It really does. I'm convinced that all the years that I ran the factory shifter on the 8.9 is how I jacked up third gear. So we got this issue with those hitting right there. So I'm going to go take this over to Cal Ranch, and I'm going to try to find a washer that will fit in the middle of this. And depending on what I find, I might tack weld it in here, but then I can just be this thick and then have a bolt right there. Maybe I'll tack those in. Maybe I'll just find something and fill in the space and just put a larger washer out here just to get rid of this gap right here on the Celine bushings that I have on here. And then I've talked in other videos before about cutting down this handle. About right there. I don't know what that is. 3/4 of an inch maybe. Just hack it off there. It's not like that thing needs, it's not like your shifter handle needs 9 miles of thread like that, you know. So I think this setup will work pretty dang good. I like it the way it is. It feels really good. So just that first gear, I think it's rubbing right here when I'm trying to get it in. But it also doesn't have much fluid in it right yet. So anyway.
298 frozen patties later.
It is a beautiful, beautiful day here. It's cold, but it is really nice. It's supposed to get up to 60 something today. I'm wearing a jacket because it's about 40 right now. But anyway, here we are. Okay, I found these bushings. This isn't sitting exactly flat, but it is the same thickness as the shifter. So I'm gonna have to tack those in. As you can tell, they're a little bit loose. It's actually maybe slightly thicker than the handle. I'm okay with that. Then I actually got some shorter bolts for the shifter. So it'll be something like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and sand this down with the wheel there. Make it easier to tack to. Alright, there it is. I just gotta say, I just got that. I don't know if you watch my other videos. I've been using this Harbor Freight Drill Master, whatever the heck brand it is. It works. It'll do the job, but that D-Walt, ooh man, that's a smooth machine. I like that. So I'm gonna throw my helmet on here, get all set up to tack this stuff in, and I hope I do a good job. Got this thing welded up, ground it down flat, and painted on it. And you know, I just had to touch the paint because that's the way I do things. I know there's pits there, but it is not going anywhere. I know it's an amateur job, but I mean, it's gonna work. Next thing I'm gonna do is get my cutoff wheel and hack it down to about right here. I did test while that was tacked in there. Oh dude, it feels good. So I'm pretty happy about the direction we're headed here. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my cutoff wheel on the grinder, cut that down, put the flap disc back on it and pretty it up on the top, and I'll be back. Job well done by the grinder. Went ahead and cut that much off. I can measure that if you want, but I went ahead and, I don't know, halfway made it pretty. Looks better than my other one. This is actually the original knob out of the 8.9. I bought a new one for it, and this one went to Frankie. Let's go bolt this thing up to the trans and see how we like it on the B&M. All right, here it is all together. And we are still pretty dang close right here. I looked all around at Cal Ranch for like panhead bolts. I think that's what you call them. Using an Allen wrench on them. I looked for some of those and they didn't have any that were standard size. They had lots of metric, but nothing standard. So I might need to run over to Home Depot or Ace, see if they have anything. Cal Ranch is pretty bare right now, actually. I don't know if that's an issue globally. And we actually have a Fastenal that I've never even been to before, so maybe I'll do that. Oop. It's kind of weird when the whole thing's moving around, but there's reverse. Yep, Frankie's gonna be very happy. Okay, now I'm just gonna show a little bit of the transmission. So I did a really decent job of filming the transmission coming out, and I can honestly post that if you guys are interested. However, my friend came over that rebuilds transmissions, and he laid down on the floor, said, "Hand me the transmission." And he had, I'm not even kidding, it was in 5 minutes, like all the way in, bolted in, drive shaft in. We had an issue here, and I'll show it, where the trans that was in Frankie, when I got it, the end of the input shaft, where it goes in the pilot bearing, was smaller. I don't know if it had an input shaft off a different T5 or what, but the thing always made noise. From day one, it made noise. And he suspected that it was a combination of the pilot bearing and the throwout bearing. And you'll be able to see also that I used a throwout bearing that came with the clutch kit that I had, and I just used that because I figured it's not going to be in there for very long, because 351, and it literally died within the first hour of this thing even running. Anyway, his theory was correct. The input shaft was indeed smaller up front, and I'll show that right here. All right, so my friend showed up, and he's under there. He's going to have a gander. Is that light still under there?
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to look, and he's the transmission guy. He built the T5 for me. He also built the T5 in the 8.9. So just over a half.
Yeah.
He also just noticed that the pilot bearing looks like at some point a pilot bearing chewed this up, but the one that's in there looks fine. Where you at? Oh, so it's 0.665?
Yeah.
Okay. That's weird.
That's going to be a lot better. And then this one.
Oh, 678.
Yeah.
No, that one is bigger.
Yeah.
You had 6.6 on the other one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and now let's look at the throwout bearing. So I handed this to him, and I didn't notice. Look at all that action right there. It's got some nice grooves in it. I'm gonna guess that is the noise. So the fork looks pretty good. It's just, you know, it could get replaced on, but it's good enough. What do you say? Does it look all right?
Yeah, but what's really interesting, it wasn't wearing evenly on that.
On what?
On the pressure plate. You know where?
Yeah.
You get your,
On the teeth?
yeah, if you look at them, they're worn more on the bottom than they are on the top. That's interesting.
So the combination of those two things were what were causing all of my noises. The trance shifted actually pretty decent. But I bought two T5s from a friend. If you're watching, thanks Alex again. But I bought two T5s. My friend put the two together and made the one that's in here right now. And it has a hardened input shaft. It has obviously all new bearings and synchros. It has the carbon fiber. It's basically a Z-spec now, but with a 335 first instead of 295. I will have zero problem uploading, pulling the T5 out if you guys are interested in it. Again, go down there and tell me if you're interested. I have the taken out part, but not the putting in part. I was a little disappointed in myself, and you should be disappointed in me too, really. Sorry. Please like, share, and subscribe. That would be wonderful. Peace out.